And we're live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Hangout with Mentors. We show up here every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am Susan Bachelder, and we always have some same old faces, not accentuating on the old, but same faces on the panel. And sometimes it switches up different people on the panel, but we are always here on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Hangout with Mentors. The topic is different. The people are the same. Why do we have different topics? First of all, I'll start off with, well, because there's a number of different topics that people either are interested in, need education and training on, and it's different to present it in this dynamic style of conversation. And sometimes the topics come about because of frequent questions that are being asked by members and colleagues, or sometimes it's just something that I've noted out there that I think would be of great value to our community. And who are we? I keep on saying we and our community. Well, we are the Unstoppable Alliance. We are a group of eager, excited, sometimes lame, sometimes goofy entrepreneurs from all walks of life who gather together. We hang out on purpose, we make a bunch of money, we learn together, we challenge each other, we laugh a bit. We hang out together literally on purpose. And this is just one of the live events that we have every week. And we talk about these value-based topics that often you can put straight into action, either in your life or your business or both. And we don't talk much about compensation plans, products, etc. Sometimes it's directly money-related topics, but they can all be applied to increase your freedom options, your money-making abilities, etc. So often it's strategies or skill-based, sometimes just simply thought-provoking, but the topics are always different. The attempt or the intention is that they're evergreen, so something that people can go back either a month, 3 months, or a year from now and watch and gain value. So who attends these? Well, our members of the Unstoppable Alliance attend them. They're loyally supportive, gain knowledge, and they share with them and utilize them to invite their prospects or potential partners, whatever you call your people that you're talking to, building relationships with. And we too, on the panel, send it out to all of our contacts, our lists, the people who are thinking about joining us and doing business or purchasing a product with us. Why? Because it gives them a sneak peek of what kind of people we are. It's all about realness and authenticity and what kind of value we provide. It gives you a sneak peek of what kind of conversations we have in the background. So hopefully that kind of summarized my explanation. Is slightly different every week, and that's a whole part of the organicness of it. Tonight's topic excites me on a little bit different of a level, because, and I'm going to go over to my notes just to make sure I don't miss anything. So I am reading, but I did write this specific for tonight. I am going to give you 3 tips that you may never have thought of implementing that will definitely change how effective your relationship building is in all instant messaging. So we will probably refer to Facebook instant messaging quite frequently, but it will apply to text messaging. It will apply to instant messaging on other platforms such as LinkedIn, Snapchat, and Instagram. Any others that you might be doing, you can use these strategies, but these 3 tips will definitely be something that will take it to the next level, whether you've thought of them or not. We're going to talk about them. The points that I would like to say, and the reason why I personally am super excited about this topic, is because there's some basic activities that of daily living that so many people take for granted. And I'll get to how it relates to this right away. But those basic activities are talking, walking, thinking, listening, and moving. And until those activities of your daily life are interrupted, you don't realize the value of other options that you have or how to be resourceful. Most people fail not because of lack of resources, but a lack of resourcefulness. So what does this have to do with instant messaging? Well, there has been times in my online business that that's all I could do. Getting on the phone, and Tammy can even justify this or back me up on this, that even now, sometimes when I have a flare up or I'm in pain, we'll be working. We'll be having an online interactive, because this is how we work. We work on this platform, and we'll be having a meeting, we'll be working, and I'm sitting at my desk, and almost like a flick of a finger, I'm done. I can't talk. I can't sit up. So instant messaging is really powerful. There were times in my business where that's all I had. I couldn't stand talking on the phone. I couldn't stand hearing. I couldn't talk. So instant messaging became how I communicated, how I worked, how I engaged, how I got projects done, and how I built relationships. So I had to get really resourceful. So I simply tell you that to hopefully to help you if shyness is what's holding you back, or some ability other than that of communicating. Please use this, get resourceful with it. And also just to kind of justify you, so that you maybe trust that I know a little bit about this topic. It's a really good idea, and take that as a side golden nugget as well. When you're talking to people, tell just enough about your story so that you build trust in that you know what you're talking about. Does that make sense? So you're not boasting. It's okay to tell something about yourself just to gain that trust. Yes, you do know what you're talking about. Two other things I want to say before we get into the grid of it. And I would love it if you wrote these down. Maybe these are something that you read every day. Maybe they're daily affirmations, or just to remind you. Use what you have and start from where you are. It goes back to resourcefulness, right? What does it have to do with messaging? Because you have it. It's right in front of you, and maybe you're not using it as effectively as you could. Use what you have. And you might not even know what's at your fingertips. So use it and start from where you are. You absolutely can. We all know how to talk. We all know how to tell stories. And we all know how to build relationships. And somehow when it gets attached to money, or when somebody says the word recruiting or selling, all of a sudden we go, oh, I can't do that. But you can. If you just went to a movie and you were really excited about it, would you stumble on the words to tell your friend or your neighbor or your mom or your sister or your daughter or your son how great the movie was and that they should go and see it? You wouldn't stumble on the words. You wouldn't say, oh, how should I say this? Who should I tell? Well, tell everybody and just start it, and just simply start it. So that's kind of where I wanted to start. Tammy, would you like to add anything of that as far as the overall organic of just being real in instant messages?
Sure. Well, none of this would have happened if there wasn't an instant messenger.
Yeah.
When you think about it, because that's how you and I met. So, going back, 3 years, it was one of those moments where I was asked by Facebook Messenger to hop on a Hangout and with a lady that, had those lava lamps behind her. And I was like, it's midnight. I'm in my pajamas and I'm like, I really want to hop on a video. And so I hurried up and changed. And then I hopped on a midnight Hangout, and it was because I knew another friend of hers. It was a friend of a friend of a friend, whatever. And that's how it kind of started. So messaging is, like Susan says, it's kind of near and dear to our hearts because this is kind of how it all expanded. So she's in Canada. I live in New York. So it's not like I went next door to her and said, hey, do you want to work together? So anyway, that's how it kind of started. And so it can be done. It can be done through Facebook Messenger. Right now I'm getting Instagram. And I was just telling you earlier, Susan, that I don't get many Instagram messages, and all of a sudden tonight, now I am. So I'm getting into my Instagram messages. I'm getting LinkedIn messages tonight, and I'm getting Facebook messages as we are on here. So So, you know, a little bit about the relationship building. I think we do know how to teach and train it because we've been doing this for years. And like Susan said, if you don't have any other way of generating leads and you simply don't have a budget, you know what? There's a billion people on Facebook. So you can start, you know, going into groups, connecting with people that are in the niche, you know, business opportunity. That's what we're in, the niche of business opportunities. So you can go into those groups, you can start connecting with people, and then you can start, you know, saying, hey, right now I have someone trying to get me into their deal, for example, right? So you know this kind of stuff is taught and works. But the best way, and what I do is I'll actually put up a post on my actual page, and I'll say, hey, you know, do you want to come into a group that we have, a Facebook group that we have, for example? Message me. So then I'll go back and forth, because I don't want to just add any person into a group. You know, I want them to really, you know, be there for a reason. So that's kind of my methodology, and I spend at least 2 to 3 hours. I'm full time at this. Spend 2 to 3 hours, you know, with that kind of in the morning, let's say. So I usually either do it in the morning if I feel like it, or if I'll do it in the evening after my run or something like that. So it's always in my DMO, and we've talked about that in the past. But the instant messaging and with Facebook, you know, what I usually do end up doing, and I did this today and had a great conversation with a person that I've known for 4 years now, and her and I are on the phone talking now. So it can go from, you know, Facebook Messenger onto the phone, right, Dalan? and not sure if you're on, Allison, but so that's kind of how it all starts. And it's like, hey, you know, how's it going? Reconnecting, and then it comes onto a, you know, phone conversation. So yeah, right now someone's saying you want to be a friend. So these are the kinds of, you know, things. And Facebook is, you know, it's great because then, you know, they can then see what you're doing. So if you happen to post it on, like right now, we posted about this training, for example, and then they see the value in the community that we have and that we teach and train the exact methods that we use. So that's what I wanted to say to open up.
Thanks, Tammy.
Sure.
Rob.
Well, hey there. First of all, I love all of the preamble, all of the stuff that you thoughtfully put together. I'm always, by the way, really impressed by that in terms of what, you know, is kind of setting this up. You know, I have several different, I guess they're not so much defined rules in using Facebook, to kind of go a little bit off of dovetail, I think is the word, off of what Tammy said. The space that we're in and the reason that we're here, I mean, we're not, you know, raising money for charities or hurricane relief or anything like that as our primary thing. We're here to make money. So we're talking about, you know, Facebook obviously for business, but the interesting thing about Facebook is it's so intertwined overall into personalities. And so I know that the context of our conversation tonight is specifically on messaging. And you also brought in Instagram and LinkedIn, which is actually totally different groups in a large part, and also very much a different kind of a vibe too. But just for Facebook, I'm constantly getting pitched by people or people friending me because they want to build their networks as well. I'll friend other people too, and a lot of times I'll send them a short little message. One of the, you know, it's not really even a secret sauce that I'll have, is I might have a little intro message that I send them. It's obviously different if they friended me or they accepted the, you know, friend request or whatever it is. I know that one of our members on here, Frank, is very big about actually sending over videos to people as kind of a, hey, thanks for the friend ad, because it's really different and it actually stands out. And but the main thing is kind of like, you know, when somebody messages you, either accepts you as a friend or messages you back or whatever it would be, it's kind of like a knock on the door, and so we have a conversation. And the rules, I guess, that I would have, or maybe the, you know, like I said, I have kind of rules and informal rules, because I seem to cross them sometimes, is sometimes I don't like, and I know that we'll kind of get into this, in the conversation, or I think we will, because we talked about this a little bit last week, is I don't like, you know, I like authenticity a lot. And so, you know, the reason why we're friends type of a thing on Facebook is not, you know, necessarily, I mean, it's nice I can go and learn about you, but really my intention is, honestly, I want you to buy something from me. Unless you've got some kind of a cool widget or some kind of something, a pill or a process that's going to make me 20 years younger or make me lose 30 pounds in 10 days or something like that, that would get my attention or something. Usually I think to myself, I'm not interested in what you're doing that much. I know that's really against what we're kind of supposed to do on Facebook. I'm just telling you, this is kind of how I think, is that if you're going to use it for, I'm not there to buy things, I'm there to sell things. So depending on kind of how the conversation goes with somebody from an opening salutation, and I talk about the velocity of a conversation, how fast people respond, how much they get back or whatever it would be, then, you know, it depends on what they say, but a lot of times I'll ask them, you know, what do you do for, how you making money? You know, are you open to making any money? What irritates me a little bit, that seems to happen a lot, and I mentioned it a little bit last week, was people asking, how can I help you, or something like that. And I'm thinking, I don't want to buy anything from you. Don't ask me. I mean, I don't like a fake, you know, I like something that's a little bit more direct. Like, how can you help me? Well, you know, send me some money. That would be really nice. Here's a link. Here's where you buy. This is what you can help me with. Or, you know, give me, 200 opt-ins today or something like that. That would be really nice help. But reality is, I know that there are these cliche kind of icebreakers that if we're going to teach on social media, and at least in my, I can't really even say in my expert opinion of conversation on Facebook, but I would like to think at least an expert opinion in business kind of conversation a little bit is, it doesn't have to be always completely direct. I mean, we can spar a little bit and have a little bit of fun, and it depends. Maybe you look at you said something last week, I guess, again, that's probably going to come up, is a lot of times I'll go and look, I'll spend 30 seconds and I'll look at somebody's profile. Okay, so, and then I'll see there's something that usually pops into my mind. There's whatever it is, where they live, they've got a nice looking family, they like golf, they're on the beach. There's something that you could probably say that makes it sound, you know, like a dynamic, personalized conversation. You know, I just don't, my pet peeve obviously is, how can I help you? You know, what can I do to help you? I mean, so that's what I guess where I would start out. But all of the different platforms are going to have different kind of vibes. But I'd kind of just leave it right now in a Facebook type of a thing. And in the context, I love, use what you have and start where you are. By the way, if you're not taking notes, probably takes a couple of notes, because there might be a nugget or two here.
Thanks, Rob. I really like what you said, and tying into what we talked about last week. And that is definitely one of the key strategies I would suggest everyone use, with whether you created a new friend or you're deciding to message somebody that you maybe haven't messaged. And that is, look at their profile. Kind of try to get an idea of how real are they. Is it somebody that would be potential to buy from you? Is it someone that you even want to build rapport with? And be crucial. It's your time. Your time is valuable. Remember that. Always remember that. Be intentional with your messaging. And so that is one of the first strategies that I think everyone should use, whether it's a new friend or a previous connection that you're just gonna try to reliven or whatever, look at their profile and see that. And also then it gives you something to converse about if you've had a look at their profile and what they might be posting. I like also what you said, Rob, about don't use a script. Like most people that will be asking you that, how can I help you? They're building off of some sort of script or something. Please don't use a script. I do have some scripts that I build off of just so that I'm not draining my brain all the time when I'm messaging. So I'll grab that script, but I'll always switch it up for that day. So there's no copy and paste that I do every day. And it's my script. I'm not copying somebody else's script. Now, over the years, and I think many of you may have been exposed to this, there's been literally training out there, companies and organizations and communities that have trained to do the guerrilla style social media messaging this way, to do the script. And that is so not real, so not authentic. I would not suggest that at all. Just absolutely be real.
A couple things real quick is that I don't want to just go on what my pet peeves are, but at the same time, we want to avoid it. So in terms of, I love, because it's such a positive kind of thing, take 30 seconds and look at somebody's profile. Mm-hmm. When I accept a friend request, usually, actually until Tammy mentioned it last week, if I get a friend request and we don't have any common friends, I usually just delete it. I did until actually Tammy had said, my God, I had a sale. I had literally there was not one person in our common network. Because I just kind of figured, like, at this point in time, if I don't know, if you're not some kind of friend of a friend, yeah, you're some fake profile and I'm not. So, but most of the time before I accept the friend request, because I know a lot of people use 10 accounts or 12 accounts. I've got 2 accounts. One I never log into. The other one I use for everything. So I've got high school friends on there. I've got people from church. I've got some family in there. I do segment it into different lists necessarily so that if I was going to post something, I can make it to where only one group sees it, or maybe everybody but one group sees it, or whatever it would be, that I don't fill up people's streams with stuff that they're not going to be interested in. But one of the things that I don't like is when people ask me, like, where am I from? I mean, it's right on my profile, or necessary. Sometimes, I mean, I might ask the same question that irritates me a little bit is, what do you do? But, mine says internet marketing or something like that. But usually, a lot of times I'll say, like, hey, thanks for the friend ad. Looks like we have a few friends in common. And then it leads the conversation in a direction where they're going to maybe look. See, I already have an idea of the different friends. Are they internet marketers? Are they multi-level marketers? Since I've been in the industry a little bit, I know some people are high tickets, some people are low tickets, some people are high ups, some people are whatever, they're Forex traders, whatever they would be, kind of all in that kind of a thing. And so I'll say, yeah, it looks like we have a few friends in common. But I get when people ask me questions about stuff that they could take 30 seconds and look at my profile, I don't know. Kind of depends a little bit on my mood.
And that is a really good point. Don't be afraid to be choosy. Again, it's your time and your time is valuable. Don't be choosy on somebody that you either know is just going to be an ongoing conversation, is not going to end up being a part of your business. You are there on purpose with the intention of building a relationship to create money. And it's okay to say that. It's okay to make decisions based on that, because your money depends on it. And money is like oxygen, right? So it's very important to be purposeful with this, like extremely important.
Absolutely. I could talk probably half an hour on that alone right there. It's true. I mean, and the more that you do, Facebook ads, and the more you do Facebook groups, I mean, you got to really be, super picky. A lot of times, Susan and I are doing lives, so lives will ping and go all through the internet, and then we get inboxes after that. So, so there's a lot of different strategies with Facebook. I'm getting another one right now, like literally as we're doing this training, I'm like looking at this so I can tell you guys, the kind of stuff like Rob just said, what do you do? Where do you live? Well, I don't really, it's right there on my Facebook profile. What do? I'm an unstoppable mom, and it's right, go to my website. It's right in my profile. I mean, so if you have your profile set up and people start asking you those questions, then you know that they're for other intention, and they're not just there because they found you about your business. So I had to add that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's okay to be upfront and make those decisions. And please do. Please do. Before I go over to you, Corey, I'm going to give you guys the 3 things that maybe you didn't think of. And Rob actually already mentioned one, which I'm really happy that always when I hear other people doing them. And I chose these because they're all 3. Interestingly enough, these words, there's 3 of them. First of all, the power of 3. All of these words have the same number of letters, and they all start with the same word. So please write these down. There was a lot of thought put into these. Okay, so number 1, voice. Voice adds the human factor, and you can do it in almost all instant messaging. Text message, there's usually a microphone that you can click the microphone, even if it's a quick hello. So at some point, add your voice to the message back and forth. And you can do that on Facebook Messenger, text message. You can do it almost anywhere. Add your voice. Humanize the message. You're going to stand out. They're going to remember you. And it just adds that personal part of relationship building. Number 2, shouldn't be a surprise, video. Short snippets of video. Just a quick greeting even. Hi there, I want to greet you. Or maybe it's somebody that you haven't messaged back and forth for a while. Last week we were talking about topics to talk about, and one of the directions we got going on is how many of you have a whole bunch of Facebook connections, but you've never actually messaged back and forth with probably thousands of them. So I have a strategy that I don't apply every day or even every week, but I try to 2 to 3 times a week go and message somewhere between 5 and 20 people that I've never messaged with before. And that would be a great time to add a video. Hey, we've been friends or connected here on Facebook for who knows how long, and we've never talked. So I thought I'd pop in a quick message and just say, hello, what is it that you do anyway? Or whatever, like just be really real, whether it's video or voice. But that's a great way to start up a conversation that you haven't engaged in before, yet you've been connected forever. There's a side thing with the Facebook algorithm that creates. So that person.
Really, on Messenger even too.
Yes. So you've been connected to someone for 2, 3, 4, 5 years on Facebook. They are not seeing your posts ever, guaranteed.
Wow.
Send them a message. They message you back. Facebook is going to show them your post.
Love it. Wow, what a great nugget right there, man. That's a nugget right
yeah, that's what I do. I mean, seriously,
right,
yeah. And you keep scrolling down all your 5,000 friends.
Yeah.
So if that doesn't motivate you to message people that you have never messaged before, please do it. They're not seeing your posts.
Now, why not just do a video message to all of my friends and say, good morning?
Yes, you can.
Yeah,
all of them?
You can if you want to. You have to take the time
Messenger and just say, hi there. I've got to each and every one of my friends, I wanted to say good morning. If it's nighttime where you live, then good evening.
Why not?
That's it.
Well, you can do it real easy.
And you will deliver that message to everybody.
Forward.
No, you have to do it one by one, but how long does that take to just send it?
Yeah, but they do a limit. When you hit send, it does.
They might block you if you just keep on sending.
Yeah.
So maybe do 5 to 10, but it's a great idea.
All right.
We're onto a strategy, right?
All right, I like it.
Use your strategy. There's no right or wrong, but
Great.
I hope I'm triggering some ideas here.
Yeah, that's
Get
great.
creative.
Well, I post in groups, and then people see the notifications that I'm posting in groups. I had one lady say to me yesterday, "Oh my God, would you stop putting all your notifications on my wall?" And I said, "I'm not. I'm posting in groups, and you're seeing the notifications from me. So
yeah,
you got to be everywhere."
Exactly. So that's number 2. And number 3, don't be afraid to share value.
Yeah.
In your instant message.
So one thing real quick, actually on that, as long as we're kind of having a conversation on it, what about for the brand new person that thinks, well, gosh, I'm really new. I don't really have a lot of value to add.
That's why we're here, the Unstoppable Alliance. So that's one of the reasons why I insist every Wednesday night, we're not talking about the compensation plan. We're not talking about the product. We are simply sharing value. Leverage us.
Yeah, leverage us.
Yeah.
Share the
I work
value.
with some people. Yeah.
Yeah. You
I'm
absolutely.
So excited to be part of this.
You're brand new.
Yeah.
You leverage us.
Yeah.
Say, I am so excited to invite you. I was on this Hangout with Mentors last week and I learned this and this and this. In fact, if you want the recording, I can get it for you. But would you like to come and join me live this week? Because this is what we're talking about.
That's golden right there. It's very
Just
simple.
conversation. Share the value. Share the value. And is it okay if I share the story of the measures that all of you have gone to come tonight? Rob, is it okay if I share the story?
Yeah, I think so. Actually, I'd probably bring him out, man.
Are you really here? Matthew, do I have permission to bring you out? I'm going to go over to Corey next, but can I bring you out? Like, the measures?
Say yes. Come on. Say yeah. Of course he will.
Say yes, Matthew.
Yes, of course.
I don't see him. Is he there?
I don't see.
He's M. Cruz. M. Cruz. KRU. Come out. You hear me. You're texting me on your phone right now.
Raise your hand. Okay, awesome. And Jim, yes, I'll bring you out too. And Corey, you're next. Are you ready?
Oh, there he is. I'm Cruz.
So Matthew is here on a generator power. So hi, Matthew. Welcome. Nice to meet you. Can I unmute you? And are you really here with us tonight using generator power after you?
I said that. He's at his brother's, actually.
You're at your brother's?
Brother's house right now, yep.
Okay. And you've been through the storm, and yet you're still working on your business and present here with us tonight.
Where do you live? Where do you live, and what happened over the last 3 days? Where do you live? What happened?
Tell us.
Lakeland. You guys can hear me, right?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yeah, I'm out of Lakeland, in between Tampa and Orlando, and it was pretty crazy. I was on my lanai in the screened-in area, and we came by with like a Category 2 or Category 3, and but it was my first experience in a hurricane, so it got pretty bad throughout the night, and we lost power, we lost water, but thankfully found out my brother had power. So I'm like, let me head over there. So I'm charging my phone, charging my laptop. All's good.
That's called doing whatever it takes. Start from where you are and use what you have.
By the way, Matthew's brand new to the Alliance, off to a great start. The guy understands branding, good-looking guy. He understands how to get out, use Facebook and whatnot like that. So really cool that you could get on, man.
Welcome. High five. You're winning already.
Thank you.
Absolutely. How awesome. And welcome, Jim. I'll come over to you after. Corey, what are your thoughts on this?
Am I in there? Can you see me?
You're here. We can see you and we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, a couple things you mentioned already. I got some notes here that I wanted to look back at. But first of all, if you're reaching out to friend request someone, I always will put the friend request, but I always send them a message, and it's a message based on what the situation is with that person. So it's not a copy and paste type message, because I do not like the fact that people connect with me and just hit friend connect, and then you got to go check out their profile. You don't know what they're about. Why are they even connecting with you? And I don't think that's fair if you're trying to build a relationship with someone. So I think it's important that you always send a quick hello and why you're actually reaching out to connect with them. That'd be number one. And then when you start a conversation like in Messenger, I always want to find out what's in common as quick as possible, because like you say, time is money. Time's important. So find out what you have in common.
Get straight to it.
Pardon me?
Get straight to it.
Yeah. Find out in a shorter period of time is what you have in common. And then spend more time asking them questions, because it's about them. It's not about you, right? So if you can get them to come out with their with questions, and they come out with their answers, and they're talking 80% of the time and you're only talking 20% of the time, then you can usually find out what motivates them. And so if you can find out what motivates them, then you can build upon a conversation from there, is the way I look at it. And it goes back to what you said too about being real, being yourself, and a casual conversation, not scripted. I mean, you can go off a script somewhere on the side, especially maybe if you're just starting out and it gives you a guideline or an outline to go by. And I've just rehashed the way I want to instant message to people and added a few things that I'm going to just start implementing here in the next little while. One, I have already started the voice message thing, because you get 1 minute, right? You got a 1 minute space there. So if you can shoot something quickly in 1 minute, which is pretty easy. So you reach out to them and then you voice message them with that 1 minute, or you can type the message. But I think the voice is going to be really key coming forward. Mm-hmm. Because then they get the authentic or real you, and they get the voice. You can also leave emotion in that, more so than if you're typing emotion. The other thing you mentioned, power of 3, voice, video, value. I kind of have a power of 3 thing too, that if you can put into a daily activity plan, and that would be, and this doesn't have to be done all at one time, but if you make a point of, 1, reaching out to 3 new people a day, maybe 4 to 5 days a week, maybe 6 days a week, you can reach out to them, send them the little message or the voice, and then you go compliment people on some of their posts. So if somebody's made a comment on your post and it's somebody new or someone you haven't had a lot to do with, go reach out to them that way too. And then follow up with 3 people you haven't followed up with in a long time. So, and then you can take that, you catch up with some people, or if somebody's new, you can just indicate that you come across their profile and that you haven't officially met yet, but you have this in common or that in common, right?
Absolutely.
And so that all helps build a little bit of trust with the people by reaching out to them that way with the message and everything, or I believe it does. And the other thing is, on my side of it, I want to kind of build a little bit of curiosity for them, so that they're thinking something in the background. Okay, what's this guy have? Maybe I should go check out his profile more, and that type of thing. So that's kind of my key things with regards to messaging, whether it's a text or mostly on Facebook.
Awesome. Thank you. That's some awesome added golden nuggets, Corey. Thank you very much. One key thing that I'm noticing, because I'm new to really building and expanding in Instagram, is there's not as much chat back and forth on Instagram. On Facebook, sometimes it's like back and forth and you never can get people to the point. But on Instagram, it's like straight to the point, often like first or second message. They're either asking me what I'm going to do or asking me for my link, or they are not offended if I get straight to the point. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. LinkedIn. Yeah.
Instagram
So
is faster though. Instagram's just like
immediate.
Picture.
Yeah. I posted on my Instagram and they said, give me your link.
Yeah. Yeah. Just give me your link. Okay.
I'm like, okay, here it is.
Yeah, so don't hold back. Don't be shy. Don't be shy, but it's good to know the different mentality. But like Rob said, when people are in the app on Instagram, it's fast. Picture. There's not really stories. So just engage a lot. And if somebody follows you, make sure you instant message them. And if you follow somebody that you like their images, or for whatever reason, instant message them. Don't leave that step out. Don't leave that out. I think it's a missed piece often, and it just takes seconds. But make sure you instant message them. Over on LinkedIn, you're going to get more into a conversation. It'll be more purposeful. They'll have looked at your profile. They're going to refer something. So if you do get into that app or platform, I should say, do take a little bit more thoughtful time over there. If you're not already on there, unless you're making money already, don't start on there. Get yourself into money making before you add any new platform, please. Jim, what are your thoughts tonight? I'm going to unmute you first. Sorry. There you go. You're unmuted and live and interactive with us, and I know exactly where you're sitting by the river.
Yeah, I'm out by the river. this is one of my most exciting topics. I mean, I have so much fun on instant messaging, and one of the ladies last night that I brought in, Vicky, she was on the call last night, and she's excited. She's going on a cruise on the Carnival Cruise Line, and I was trying to hook her up with my son, who works as a stand-up comic on the Carnival Cruise Line, but it works out that he's going to be in Hawaii, she's going to be in the Bahamas. But anyway, the neat thing about it is this girl is excited. I give all my new converts a goal to make $1 million, because that's my goal, to make $1 million with Titus. I've done it 3 times before. Wow. I mean, I worked hard, and I've told you all many times how hard I had to work in the drywall business and the real estate business. And man, now I probably work maybe 10, 15 hours a week. And I got people all over the place. I have 150 people on my my messaging deal. And every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, well, not Wednesday, I don't do it on Wednesday. I only invite my team on Wednesday. And several of my team are on tonight listening. So on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, I text all these people, and I always say something different. I don't copy and paste the same thing. I say something different, and I always give them a chance to opt out, because I don't want to keep bugging people. And I'll probably text 150 people, maybe one will opt out. And usually in the midst of the next day or two, people see their texts. They don't, people aren't like you and me. They don't sit and watch text all the time. And I do that. But they watch. A guy texted me today, said, I didn't see your text earlier. Can you send me the link to that call last night? So I clicked it over, and that's why I keep asking you guys for these links, because I try to save them all as fast as I can. But anyway, I texted the link over to him. He said, well, that really looks neat. Let me check it out more. And so when I get on Facebook Messenger, I do that same thing too. But I always give people an opt out. And when I started out in Facebook, I think I had 850 friends, and now I've got about, I don't know, I haven't checked it lately, 900 or 1,000, and it grows like that. It grows and grows and grows. So keep doing it. And my philosophy that I teach my team is drip, drip, drip. Keep telling them the same thing over and over and over again, and change what you tell. Don't send the same thing over and over again, but different, like you said earlier, you vary it. And I'm going to start doing more. I'm doing 1 to 2 minute videos on Facebook, and I'm reposting those, and I'm starting to sending them into Messenger. I've got about 5 Messenger friends who I've known for 20 or 30 years who are deeply involved in multi-level marketing. And I don't know if Marty is watching tonight. Marty's been my friend for about 30 or 40 years, and Buck and Pam Smith been my friend, but they're deeply involved with a couple other network marketing things. I say, guys, come on over. You make one of the guys is in my Friday morning Bible study. He has made, he has 3,000 people in his downline, and his check is only at $2,000 a month, and that's sad.
That's so sad.
Totally, man.
I won sale. I made $2,000. And I'm going to you get this, but I don't get frustrated with him, because I know that I got this thing the first time I saw it. First time I was, what I do next? No more idea doing anything. And I plunked down my 22 grand, and wasn't too long before I was qualified all the way up. So, I mean, I love Titan. I love what it does. And it's just so neat. And you young people out there, and especially I go out for you down in the storm you went through, but my one of my relatives lived down in Tampa, and she came through this thing, and I haven't heard back from her yet, but I do know I talked to another relative, said, well, we made it through okay, but we're trying to conserve our cell phone batteries because they don't have any power to recharge them back up. So
we'll give Matthew her address.
Huh?
So we'll give Matthew her address.
Okay, she's in Tampa. Are you in Tampa, Matthew?
Pretty close.
Okay, well, I'll text it to you, and I know she's okay because I told her, I said, Gloria, you got to get out of there, and she said, I can't. I got my grandkids, my animals, and my dogs and cats, and boy, you know, I've been praying for those people down there. What an awful mess, you know. But all of our business with tied to people, and I know that there are a lot of people down there that lost their jobs. A lot of people that are looking for a way to make money, and we got ways to help them with very, very minimal effort to do it. So
that's absolutely right. And there's two key things that I get from what you shared tonight, Jim, and thank you very much. But two key things is recognizing that somebody needs it and it's a solution to the situation they're in. Of course, you want to be compassionate to the situation that they're in and share that why it could be a value or solution to them, and absolutely could. But also, Jim, you are a master at following up. And this is a great way to follow up. Doesn't matter what instant message you choose, whether it's your Facebook instant messenger or text or whatever it is, but follow up. And that might be where your value comes into play, right? So every week, Jim invites people to these live events, to these calls. And if people miss it, then he sends them the recording. He honestly is. Every week, Jim's the first one asking for the link. Where's the link? And it's because he is a master at following up. So take that as a golden nugget. The instant message is a great way to follow up.
And the fortune is in the follow-up.
Yes.
Anybody on my team, and maybe it's the way it is, maybe it's part of one of the secret sauces. Somebody had asked me a little bit, and I said, it's just really a matter of following up. It's not like it's the same message over and over. I'm constantly in promotion mode of the calls. Matthew, you know, you're new. You just kind of came on. How many text messages you get from me about jumping on a morning call, jumping on an evening call? Pretty consistent?
Yeah, all the time.
You know, like that's the key. The fortune is to get them on, and then it's not. I never even ask people, hey, when are you ready to, you know, get started? And you know, obviously we do what we do within our group. But the skill set really could go for anything. I just feel like always it's just always about a conversation. It's kind of sifting and sorting. I follow up with people that I like and that I think want to be followed up with. Obviously, I don't want to follow up with anybody that does not want to be followed up with. And, yeah, you know, actually have another fella on here that recently got started. And he, by the way, I apologize because I left him out of the storm. This is Edmund, who is over in Charleston. So I apologize, Edmund. I saw Matthews. It's right there in Orlando. So a lot of flooding and whatnot there in Charleston. And this guy, Edmund, and we started talking originally a year ago. Now, I didn't follow up with him for a year, but he told me at one point, I think it's for a couple months, how long does it take me to send a text message out, and I'll send it to one person that, you know, it's not exactly copy and paste. You know, sometimes I'll change a few words or something like that. But, you know, at one point he said, God, you know, my wife and I kind of laugh all the time because I get all these messages like you're so consistent on stuff. So I don't know if he wants to jump out or not, but anyhow, the fortune is in the follow-up.
Absolutely. And raise your hand if you want to jump out, because you're absolutely welcome to.
Susan,
Susan,
can you hear me, Susan?
Go ahead.
I can hear you, Corey.
Oh, I'm just going to say what in the follow-up thing there. Here's the thing. If you're going to reach out to connect with someone because you want to offer them, you know, a solution to their situation or whatever, and you're not following up, why do you even bother reaching out? Because like I work in corporate America, or the corporate world, I guess. And if you're doing a project quote on something, on a new building or something, and it's 250 grand, why do I quote it if I don't follow up?
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make sense not to follow up. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. You're leaving a lot on the table if you don't follow up. You
Absolutely.
don't want it bad enough if you're not taking that minute.
Well, and it's, and you know what? You're making a choice for that person then. Their choice is not to get back to you. When you follow up, it's their choice to say yes or no or continue. Don't make the choice for them. Let them make the choice, right?
Yeah.
Hey guys, speaking of following up, I got a guy that just called, so I gotta leave.
Yeah, that's okay.
Follow up.
Sorry guys. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Susan, I got one more.
Okay, just hang on to that thought. So what I was going to go back to Tammy for, I can tell the story, is what we often do, either between us, because we're both working collaboratively, and we also do it for our direct members to help out, is especially on Facebook, it's really easy to create small group chats. So you don't want to do it annoyingly, and you always want to ask for permission, but creating a group chat. So say, for example, if I've been talking to someone back and forth and they're almost ready and it's time to introduce them to Tammy, or vice versa, we just create a quick group chat. Or if we're working on a project, or if a member, like say if Corey has someone that is, they're almost ready, but they need to connect with us. It's the same idea as the three-way. And Rob is a master at the three-ways by, just need to note that it's the same kind of idea, except for they can respond whenever they want to, and you create like a three-way conversation in the messenger. Utilize it for that. It is very powerful to go back and forth with that in Messenger. Jim, over to you. What was your thought?
Yeah, very, very important. When you meet somebody new on the internet, they don't know who in the world you are, and they just say, who is this guy out here? Is he sitting in some room down in New York City trying to get me to give him money? Or is so here's what I train my people to do. I created a Facebook page, not a Facebook, but a website, my biographical deal. Jim Young, what he has done, where he's at, and where he is going. And so I told all my guys, I said, now, before you put me on the phone with them, I want them to do two things. One is I want you to listen to the title video. It's 20 minutes. I want them to look at the website, too, and understand how the compensation plan. And then I want you to tell them about me. So they have, when I get on the phone with them, they know who Jim Young is. Jim Young is a millionaire from Virginia. He has done it 3 times, and now he wants to take Titan into a fourth realm. And I want you to be my partner. And I even have a website. My partner is a millionaire from Virginia. And so I brand myself. Now, you guys talked about that when I first met you, branding yourself. Well, I had already branded myself in several other businesses, and they all fell apart. And so now I brand myself as a millionaire from Virginia, and people will click on that when they see that millionaire deal, and they say, well, boom. Well, you don't even have to be a millionaire to brand yourself. All you got to do, anybody on this call can say, I have a partner who is a millionaire from Virginia. His name is Jim Young, and he will talk to you anytime he wants to. And I don't care whether you're my downline, upline, sideline, front line, or I'm like Rob. Rob says, man, call me if you need help. Well,
Anytime.
That's the way to go. And it's so fun helping people. I mean,
and so that goes back to the point of, if you've just started and you don't have your own leverage and your own story, leverage the community, leverage your sponsor, leverage your upline, and that's what we're here for. Absolutely.
That's great, isn't it?
Thanks, Jim. Matthew, I would love to go back to you, and I apologize ahead of time for putting you on the spot, but I do love putting people on the spot, especially when it's their first time out. I love this moment. So I'm putting you on the spot, just pre-warning. Your first time out here, hanging out with us, you're live and interactive with us on the panel. What are your thoughts either about hanging with us here, about the topic? Just what comes to mind about what's going on here?
Um, a very smooth, simple process with everybody just kind of getting together and sharing their thoughts. Like, I've never really been, and I've told Rob this, I've never really been part of something where there was constant flow of everything going on with teaching and everybody kind of willing to help everybody, doesn't matter where you are, and just kind of share your experiences. And even this, like, I've never heard of Zoom. I've never heard of, any of this stuff. And this is cool because this is cool. This is like, well, this is my first time kind of going on video here with this, but I was on a previous one with Zoom as well. Rob's like, get on this, do this. And I'm like, what is this? I've never heard of it. I've been a part of other companies, and it's like, this is something more of not just like, let's make money, but a big part of this is let's help each other. And I've never been a part of something like that before. So this is definitely really cool. And it's literally getting better for me every day, every week. So, and
Awesome.
Rob's been there for me like every day. He's been, how are you doing? How, with the hurricane and stuff like that, and just making sure everything's up. But I appreciate that.
Can't have a brand new team member just get blown off the map.
That
True,
just
yeah.
wouldn't be right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your feedback, Matthew, because our verbiage and how we describe the community is a place where everyone knows your name, a place where you can be in business for yourself but not by yourself, etc. Like, so we have these words that we use. And what you just did, just organically, did you know that I was going to pull you out and ask you your opinion? Like, this wasn't scripted.
No.
You just organically in the moment proved to everyone that's ever going to watch that we really do that stuff. It's not hype. It's not some fancy script that we had a copywriter write. We actually do that on a day-to-day basis. So thank you for that. Really appreciate that, Matthew. You probably made a bunch of sales for a bunch of people in the days to come because these videos get watched again and again. So that is awesome. Is there any closing thoughts? I feel really good about the value that we've shared with everyone today. I'm really happy and grateful for each of you on the panel. Do you have any closing thoughts, Rob?
I was gonna say no, not really. I mean, I kind of shared most all of it already. I know that we could have gone. I guess I do. I know that we could have gone a little bit more technical into, kind of the etiquette or whatever.
We can, but I can also record a 12-minute video going through that if you like.
Yeah, I think that would be good. One thought that I actually did have that popped into my mind a little bit is, and it's probably more for, people that are, over 30 or something like that, is I'm thinking like the whole idea really is it's not like a script. It's not a, there's things that I coach people to do, like when they get an opt-in, to text this because I want to just get engagement and get somebody to reply. But, in general, I think of a lot of the interaction that we have on social media. It's kind of like going to not that I ever did it, but going to like a Lions Club or a Rotary Club or some kind of a networking event that's for the purpose of people, meeting each other. And you're not there necessarily to, like I said, you're there to promote, to build your business. So you kind of quickly sift and sort. You meet somebody, or if you're a single person and you're looking to date or something like that, you kind of are going to quickly sift and sort some things up and think, nope, I not that one. And the next one, oh, you don't want to get, okay, great. Then, oh, you want to, oh, okay, great. And then you can kind of banter back and forth and have fun with it. I think so. That's my thought.
Absolutely. And that definitely is a good point. And if anybody does want, just a quick 10, 12 minute how-to for the technical part of it, like there's some key things you can, if you're on your desktop, for example, I'll just give you this quick one. And if you choose to turn on your chat when you're on your desktop, then it'll show the green lights of who is in live and interactive on their Facebook Messenger, for example. that'd be a great time to sit there and do your 5 to 10 people, your goal for that day. Quickly message the people that are online. That'll tell you if they're going to respond immediately to you. Corey had mentioned the messages when you first friend someone, whether they've friended you or you're friending them, that initial message. I always make a note to self. If I've messaged somebody and they never have replied, I actually might go ahead and unfriend them. I'm on purpose connecting with people that want to either interact, buy something from me, add value at some point. And if they're not going to, there's no purpose of being connected. So if they don't reply to that initial message, I'll quickly unfriend them with no problem at all. And so any of that technical stuff, just reach out and comment if you do want, like say a quick 10 or 12 minute video of how to do those kind of things. And if on your phone, if you don't know the technical part of pressing the microphone or of sending a video, we can always create videos like that as well. I just find that the organicness and the dynamic back and forth of the thought-provoking part of this concept of building relationships on purpose and intentionally in Messenger was really valuable to spend this hour on. So I hope everyone has received
Good
that
stuff.
value for sure. And on that note, we'll see y'all next week with the next topic. It's still going to be social media related because we deciphered that everyone is really enjoying this kind of series that we've been doing. This is week 4 now. So get back with the person that invited you if you don't already have those past recordings, if you want more. And if you're not actively involved in the community and have purchased a product, definitely get back with the person that invited you and figure out how you can become a part of this community and how you too can make immediate, direct, member-to-member, big ticket paydays. We'll see you next week. Thank you, everyone on the panel. Thank you so much.
Great call, Susan. Great call.
Yes.